Well, welcome to episode 52 and welcome to a new year. We did a show last week on chakras, so you can check that out in the Emotion Code Divas uh, page. So we're doing things a little bit differently this year. Our goal is to educate, inspire, release, and heal some trapped emotions. So this month we're working on goal setting with entrepreneurs. And today, because I am a law of attraction trainer and I've written a book about the law of attraction, which I'll talk about a little bit in this episode. But Helene and I are both emotion code practitioners. And in our work, we find, regardless whether it's law of attraction, coaching, whatever, whether Helene is doing hypnosis, weight release, stop smoking, or whatever, we are always also adding the emotion code to whatever we're doing, because we just find it's that final piece that just seems to unblock those last trapped emotions are there, because we can know a lot in our mind, intellectually, especially as an entrepreneur. I can coach you, you can know what to do, marketing, business plan, etc., but something blocks you, and that's the emotion. So if you're watching for the first time, you too can become an emotion code practitioner. You can connect with Helene and I to ask how to do that, but you can also buy the book and do some studying on your own. Everything that we're talking about today, Dr. Bradley Nelson is the founder and creator of the Emotion Code program. So check it out if you want to do it yourself, or if you need a professional, then we are here for you. All right, so as I said, I'm Dana J. Smithers, one of the Emotion Code Divas, and I'm going to pass it over to the other Emotion Code Diva to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. I am Helena Jenikin, and I am a certified emotion code practitioner as well as a certified clinical hypnotherapist. And I have a physical office on Vancouver Island in Cobble Hill, where I see clients that want to release excess weight or overcome fears and phobias, perhaps even stop smoking, because I am the stopsmokinglady.com. And Dana, you're so correct. With everything that I do in hypnotherapy, I add in the emotion code. And by adding in the emotion code, I actually get to work with people online via video. So I get to work now with people all over the world. It's very exciting.
Exactly. And it's really something that Helene and I believe wholeheartedly in, because not only have we seen the results in our own life, but with all the clients we work with, regardless of whether you're dealing with, relationships that aren't going well, finances that you're struggling with, health, weight release, just feeling good, or just feeling a little bit lost in life, the emotion code can really help that. But as I said, for this month in January, we're going to be talking about goal setting and how to remove and release some of these trapped emotions that are keeping you stuck and not moving forward in your business. So as we like to do, especially for first-time viewers or people that are maybe learning the emotion code, we're going to go through 7 of the keys that take a person that works with us through the emotion code. So the first thing that I'm going to hold up here is a card that says permission. So Helena, can you tell us about our viewer today, and do you have her permission?
I do have her permission. So we have a volunteer today, a viewer, and she has given me her permission. So that is now I have the right to go and work with her energetically.
All right, and the way that we do that is through what we call a proxy. So if the person isn't with us, then we can become their proxy. So Helena, how are you going to do that today with your client?
My client today, our volunteer today, after she's given us her permission for me to tap into her subconscious mind, then she's also given me the right to ask her subconscious mind yes or no questions. And essentially, it's kind of like if you need to go to a meeting, but you can't go to a meeting, and you want to vote at that meeting, and you give your vote to someone else to vote on your behalf. Same idea.
Right, exactly. So the other question that's very important that we will ask the client and we'll ask a viewer, but also we will check it out energetically. So we ask the severity.
That's
and
right.
The severity is based on a scale of 1 to 10.
Hmm. That's right. And so I've asked our volunteer today about her severity, and she says that she is at a 10.
All right, so then
Yeah,
she's, and Helena will check in with that as well. And how we're going to do this is through what Dr. Bradley has come up with for anybody to be able to do this anytime, anywhere, and it's called muscle testing. So in his book, he talks about various different techniques of how to muscle test. So Helena and I each have a little bit different ones. So Helena, go and show the viewers what yours is.
certainly. So my muscle testing works like this. I have an agreement with my subconscious mind that when I link these two fingers together like this, and I think of the word yes and pull apart, they won't pull apart. And when I think of the word no and I pull apart, they just come apart. So you'll see me doing muscle testing, and that's a yes, this is a no.
Exactly. And so mine's a little bit different. I, again, have an agreement with my subconscious that I hold my index and thumb together and I use my index and middle finger from the other hand. That's a nice firm yes. And again, if you're just learning this technique, there's no need to put a lot of pressure on your fingers. In fact, your hands will get sore if you do that. So that's a yes and that's a no. And Helena and I do it very quickly when we're actually going through what Dr. Bradley has created called the emotion code chart. So when we're asking the questions, are there any trapped emotions that, in this case, are preventing the viewer from moving forward in her business, we're going to be looking at for answers in, where are we looking?
We're looking on the emotion code chart, and the emotion code chart is a chart that Dr. Bradley Nelson came up with, and it's a chart with 60 negative emotions on there. And what he's done is divided it into two columns, column A and column B, and then into 6 rows, 1 through 6. And so you'll be hearing us or your emotion code practitioner ask if there's a trapped emotion in column A or B, and if it's in an odd row or an even row. And then once we get that cell, there's 5 different emotions in there, and then we can ask individually about those emotions. It's a very efficient process, actually.
Exactly. And there's no difference between an emotion being in column A or column B. It doesn't matter which column it's in. Sometimes it ends up there's more emotions in column B than A, but there's no significance to that. It's just simply how he's named them. So what we're doing when we actually get to those 5 emotions and we trigger on one that we're going to release, because it is an energy, we're going to release it with a magnet.
That's right, a magnet. And I have my magnets here today, and these ones are 2 very powerful magnets. And magnets are wonderful because they're pure energy. Not only do they intensify the intention to release a negative trapped emotion, they actually cancel and wipe away that emotion. So you'll see us practitioners doing this, and we'll start kind of wiping over our head like this. And we start here at the tip of the underneath the nose, because that's the start of the governing meridian. And it goes all the way down to the tip of your tailbone. And that governing meridian is then attached to all the other energy meridians in the body. And that was actually mapped out by the Chinese and the acupuncture medicine people long time ago, like 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So I have the similar magnets, and what we're doing is we're demagnetizing that energy. So really, if you think of it, it's kind of like your credit cards in your wallet. If they get too magnetized too much, that's what happens to them. They actually become unmagnetized. So that's what we're doing. We're just getting rid of all of that energy and releasing it. And a very important step that we're doing, which I definitely need today, is
we get to hydration. Let me guess.
Exactly. We need to be hydrated, and we also request when we're working on someone that they keep themselves hydrated as well. Because if you are new to doing emotion code, sometimes you might get, is it column A? No. Is it column B? No. That's a good time to do a check-in. Maybe you're not hydrated. Dr. Brad also says that it might be Someone might need a chiropractic adjustment because their body's out of sync or whatever. But yeah, drinking water does put that energy through you. And it's also a nice cleansing effect for your body, especially if you've been drinking any caffeine or yeah, anything, maybe too much sugar or something like that as well. So it is good to keep yourself hydrated all day. So Alina, let's say hello to some viewers today.
Yes. Lovely. We have the lovely Natasha Paula Samuel. Hello, Natasha.
Rumford, Essex. She likes to give us a weather report. Chilly day in Rumford, Essex.
And we have also Linda Gagnon. Gannon.
Gannon, yes. Hi. Linda's so nice. Linda's in Australia, and I've done some emotion code work with her. She joined us the first show, Helena, but the first one we had technical difficulties, which is too bad. So Linda, let me know what time of day it is for you right now. I'm not sure. I know it's very strange. Anyway, I did some emotion code with her, and she did some Discover Your Sacred Gifts program with me, which was just great. And then your friend Lori is saying hello from Victoria.
She's from Victoria. So as Lori says, it's good morning, Helena and Dana from Victoria, BC. And it looks like that there's representations from England, Australia, and Canada. How exciting is that?
We love that. And so that's a perfect segue into what I'm going to be talking about today. I am a law of attraction trainer and business coach, and I've done this for a long time. And a couple years ago, I wrote a book called the Law of Attraction Gratitude Journal. So it's 52 weeks. It's kind of a self-discovery, and you can write in the book. If you're someone that needs a little bit of prompting, it's a great book to get. So in week 37, I give a tip about the vibrational business plan. I give a little bit of information about it, and then you can carry on through with writing in and filling in what your intention is, what you're grateful for, and go through other processes that are in the book. Also, I've done a whole series in YouTube, 52 weeks, explaining the law of attraction tips more. So that's week 37 you could look at. So the reason we're talking about a vibrational business plan, because it fits so well with when we're talking about entrepreneurs. So Helena, I'm going to go and jump into the educational part of it. If you want to go ahead and work on our viewer today, and if there's anything that you need to ask her, you can just do that, and she can answer in the feed there.
Yeah, wonderful.
Excellent. All right. So, and Helena, just before we start, I think you've got your vibrational business plan started as well, right?
I do, and I made it very colorful. Looks like this.
Great. Okay. Wow. Good. All right. So, what's that all about? All those stickies and everything. All right. So let's launch into that. And the reason that I do a vibrational business plan is I was in the corporate world for about 20 years, and when I was in the corporate world, I always had to do a business plan, and it was like 5 pages or 10 or 20, and it was always a 5-year plan or something, and it was always very difficult to project into the future what sales were going to be, who our clients were going to be. So when I came across in my training with Law of Attraction, the vibrational business plan, I thought, this is so much better because it's so much easier to do. It's got a totally different energy to it. Now, if you're used to doing SMART goals, you can still do those. And you can go to my Law of Attraction page, and I talk about what the SMART goals are. But you can do a vibrational business plan. In fact, you don't even have to call it a vibrational business plan. It could be a vibrational plan for a relationship. It could be a vibrational plan for better health. It could be a vibrational plan for better finances. It doesn't matter what it is, but because we're focusing on goal setting. So this is what it looks like, the idea, the concept. So you can do this on a big piece of Bristol board, and they're colored stickies that you want to use, and I'll explain why. So the first one that we're looking at is you write out what I know for sure. So this is what's happening right now, what I know for sure. So on your Bristol board, you've got the whole square to do. So that's the first one that we're talking about. So what I know for sure, say for me, that's happening right now, the Emotion Code Diva show is attracting more viewers. So energetically, that makes me feel good. I don't have any trapped emotions around that. It's good. It's happening now. Another thing I'm doing is I train guides, certified guides, to become Discover Your Sacred Gifts certified guides. So that's something I'm doing right now. I really, really enjoy it. So that's what I'm going to put up here in my sticky. The second thing that we're going to look at is, let me just get that in view there, is what I'm giving my attention to. So basically, this is where we're saying I am in the process of. So when I say that for me, and I've got my stickies here, so right now I'm in the process of, I've got 2 workshops going on. One is Life Purpose and Uncovering Your Sacred Gifts. The other one is Law of Attraction and Vibrational Business Plan. So I've got one in January and one in February. So I'm giving my attention to attract people to sign up for that. So that goes in that part. Another thing that I'm doing is Helena and I are in the process of attracting more clients, more emotion code clients from watching the show. So the first one is what I know is going on for sure. The second one is what I'm giving my attention to. And the third one is where there is room for more, and we're saying, wouldn't it be nice if? So this is what in Discover Your Sacred Gifts we call the magic wand question, right? If you had all the money in the world that you needed, if you had all the resources, if you had all the support, if everything in your life was open up so that you could do whatever you wanted, what would that be? So this is where we call this is room for more down here. Wouldn't it be nice if? So for me, I've got that it would be great if I could do more radio shows, whether individually or Helena and I do them together. And another thing that I've got down here, wouldn't it be nice if Helena and I, Emotion Code Divas, got a big speaking engagement. It might be a conference coming up. It could be a workshop. It might be a trade show. So those are the kinds of things that Helena and I are going to look for this year. That wouldn't it be nice? So what happens is, let's just say that does happen. So I'm going to take this one from the bottom, and at the time that I'm going to start to give it more attention, then I'm going to move it up. And maybe one of these from the what I'm in the process of has actually happened. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it up to there on my Bristol board. So the idea is to keep being able to move things up and up, and so that when you accomplish something, you can see you're moving it up from room for more, wouldn't it be nice if, and then you're going to what I'm giving my attention to, so what I'm in the process of, and then what I know for sure it's happening now. So vibrationally, you want to write down things that make you feel good. And as you are able to accomplish each one, then what you're going to do is you're going to fill in more where the spaces are. So each time something moves up, and when you've really got what you know for sure is really happening, it's on its way, then you can start to move some of the other stickers, the sticky notes, and then replace it with something else. So it's kind of a really great way to not put so much pressure onto yourself. And yeah, just getting distracted by saying hello to a few people here. Oh my, Linda Gannon in Australia says it's a 4:30 a.m. start. So Linda, wow, thank you for joining the show. I know we used to have a lot of good calls together, and I see your name pops up once in a while, so thanks for that. And Andrea Doucette Hetfield is saying good morning, thanks. And Deborah Harney Gregor, hi Deborah. Deborah and I did a very, very special show on grieving and what it's all about. So it is also in the Emotion Code Divas page, as well as in my YouTube channel. You really want to check that out. We've had a lot of views for it. If you're going through any kind of grieving, Deborah is a grief coach. She's someone that has experience. She is a widow, and she's got some great tips in that session that we did. So check it out. It's a special episode with the Divas. And yeah, so thanks for joining us. And we love it if you would share this. This is really what one of our goals this year is to really get it's not about the views that we're looking for. It's about us adding value to your life. And if you're not used to the emotion code or any of these healing modalities, then you know, it's really important that you look at, you know, it's the beginning of a new year. You want to have a great year. So, you know, take the time to find the resources that you need or whatever healing modality works for you. So it looks like Helena is finished, and we're going to see that. So again, this is your vibrational business plan. I'll write in there, I'll put a little link in there. I'll write down what the headings are that you need to do. And I do mine just on a piece of Bristol board. But the thing is, don't tuck this away. Keep this right there where you can see it. I've got mine where every day when I close my door, it's right on that board. So I want to be looking at that, and so that I can keep moving that energy. And if that energy is stuck, then I do an emotion code session on myself, or ask Helena to do an emotion code session on me. So, you know, we do this on ourselves all the time. So Helena, it looks like you are finished. And whoa, holy smoke, stop the show. Sylvia Bellini has joined us today. Sylvia is also in London, England, so she says it's dark there. Yeah, so we have representation all around the world. This is absolutely fabulous today. So thanks so much, everybody. Yeah, so that's just great. All right, so Helena has been working with the viewer while I've been doing our educational piece, and hopefully that was helpful for you. So Helena, go ahead and let us know what trapped emotions you released or what you found out there.
Yeah. So what I released is it was interesting. I had a little hard time getting started actually. So what I asked then is because I was my viewer, and it was, have I decided to go ahead with this business? And it was no, I haven't actually decided, because Dana, you know that once you decide something, then you just go do it. It's like with my stop smoking clients, when they decide to stop smoking, that's when it happens.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that word trying, right? If you say to yourself, well, I'm trying to get my business going, or I'm trying to lose weight, or I'm trying to stop smoking, Elaine and I will just stop you. And we do it with loving kindness, that trying from a law of attraction perspective is on the negative side. So we want you to step up and say that, yes, I'm committed, I've decided. So once you energetically make that decision, the subconscious and conscious are on the same page, and that's what allows you to move forward. But it's the subconscious where those trapped emotions are. So what else came up, Helena?
So once I got that, actually there was a few emotions there, and let me just see here. There's quite a few here. So the first one was actually 13 years old, was worthless. So it was interesting. That was the first emotion, and worthless. So when we got rid of that, we didn't need to know more. That was gone. Shock was there, and also failure. So there was some shock, failure, and worthlessness. And once that got out of the way, then there was a clear decision to go ahead and do this. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do it. And so then the next question I phrased was, are there any blocks, any emotional, negative emotions that are blocking me from just getting started? And it was at a level 10. So so the first emotion that came up was actually not even her own. It was an absorbed emotion from her father.
Yeah, so talk about that, Helena, when it's not inherited, but it's absorbed.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? It's like, you know, it's like you're looking at everything, and everything should be working out, but yet it's not. Well, we can actually pick up emotions from other people, and it often happens in the womb. when the fetus is there, and it will pick up emotions from often the parents, mother or the father or those around, and then you're born with those, and then you carry those through your entire life. They're not even yours. And so, yeah, so that feeling of humiliation was your father's and not yours, and it's gone now. It's out of your system.
Right.
And then I got to a psychic trauma. So a psychic trauma is when two emotions get trapped at the same time. At the same event, these two emotions got trapped. And the emotion of failure and low self-esteem got trapped at the same time. Now, I asked if I could release failure, and it said yes. And then I asked, can I release low self-esteem? And it said no. I needed to know more information. So I went and found the age. So the age was around 7 years old, where the emotion of failure and low self-esteem got trapped. Didn't need any more information, just released that. So that got out of there. And then I tested again, and where we had started with a 10, a resistant level to just getting started, it went down to a 4 when we got rid of the humiliation that was absorbed from your father, and then it went down to a 1. I went, that's not good enough. I'm going to see if there's any more. And the other emotion that came up was discouragement and rejection. And once those were gone, then the subconscious mind said, no, now I'm ready to get started. I've decided to get started. And we know, Dana, that what we want sometimes is out there in our discomfort zone. It's not really comfortable, but that's where what we want is. And so by stepping into that discomfort, we actually increase our comfort zone, and it soon becomes comfortable.
Exactly. And especially, thanks, Helena, for that. Especially, if you're a new entrepreneur. No, a lot of people, I've coached a lot of women over the years, entrepreneurs, and what I found is that some people that want to be an entrepreneur, they want to work for themselves, they love what they're doing, but the truth is they are not really good salespeople. The idea of going out and getting business and not just marketing themselves, but selling themselves is frightening to them. So that is just part of what entrepreneurs need to be able to do. So this would be really good to have an emotion code session around, because what you're doing when you're selling is you're letting people know that you're here to serve. And if what you have is something that they want, they will buy it. And if not, you just move on to the next person. But you have to get yourself out there. And, Helena and I have talked about this in our own business, right? We have to become visible, which is one of the reasons why we started the show, because we really do believe in this this form of healing, and we love doing it, and we wanted to also have a show that was interesting and get people watching, but also help people. So, being that entrepreneur, you can be really good at your craft or your service or whatever, but, there are going to be blocks. It's just natural, especially if you've never been an entrepreneur before. I mean, it can just sound great to say, well, I charge $150 an hour when maybe you were working in a job and you made 15 to 20. That's great, but you're not going to be doing it every hour. So you've got to do some planning. So this is where something like the vibrational business plan can come into play, because you can look at it. It's not harsh with dates and goals and money. It can be. You can definitely put down, if you want to make, $3,000 a week or something, that's a great goal. But then you've got to look at, how are you going to get there? And if you've never been an entrepreneur, made that much money, then it can become overwhelming. So this is when the emotion code can really break through. But it's not going to take just one session, right? We'll work with you, and we'll bust through some of those myths that you've got about what you're doing, so that you get to that place where you love being an entrepreneur, because you have a lot to offer. And when you get those clients and you see the results, it's just, there's no more wonderful feeling than that. Helena is the stop smoking lady.
Yep.
And when she tell us about your sessions, Helena. They're not like 6 months or something, are they?
No. I have a process where I help people to become smoke-free in 1 2.5 hour session. And my success rate is 95%. One time, people come in for about 2.5 hours and they're done.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. When people walk into my office, they're not quite believing that it's possible. And so during that's why it takes about 2.5 hours, because there's some different levels and things that we need to go through to get them to the part where they believe that it's possible for them. Because you know why it's possible for them? Because it was possible for others.
Yeah.
And when I get them to know that it was possible for others, that it's possible for them too. And Dana, I always add an emotion code session in there too, releasing fears and worries. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. So that's something that as I said in the beginning, we all do regardless of what program we're doing. Even if I'm doing privately sometimes with a Discover Your Sacred Gifts person, where they find that they're finally admitting the things that they want to do in life, but there's something holding them back. And that's when I'll just offer an emotion code session as a bonus, because it's just something that I know will help them, keep moving forward, which is what we want. So Helena,
that's actually how we met, is that I hired you as a business coach.
Yeah.
And you would ask me, so how's that coming along that you said that you were going to do? And I said, it's not. And then you did emotion code sessions on me as part of all your coaching. And then that's when things started to move.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's an ongoing process being an entrepreneur. I mean, an entrepreneur's life isn't, this might be if you have a job and you have a steady job, but then that steady job also, you can lose it, right? So when you're an entrepreneur, it's a little bit more of an up and down road, and then you're going to have times when you've got a great plateau and you go up, and maybe times when you dip down. But that's the life of an entrepreneur, and that's why I think emotion code is so important for that, because nobody's just going steadily along. There are bumps and challenges, and that's what we're here for, is to learn and grow. Yeah. So if you want to know more about, I have a Law of Attraction Business Abundance program. It's a self-study program. I will put the link in this recording as well, but it's something that you can go through on your own. It's got the vibrational business plan in it, but everything else that you need to know about how to deliberately use the Law of Attraction in your life. So next week's show, in fact, show 53 is I'm going to do the 3-step deliberate attraction process. So this is just to help our entrepreneurs move forward. It's something that I use all the time. Helena uses it as well. But this is where you have to decide what it is you want to do. So it's not about trying something. It's about when you've made that decision, like, yep, I'm ready to move forward. Okay, I'll put that in the link in the show. So Helena, how can people get a hold of you?
So people can get a hold of me through my website, which is flourishhypnosis.com /emotion code. They can find me on Facebook, Flourish Hypnosis, as well as on YouTube.
Yeah, and you can find me at Empowered Women in Business. I have Law of Attraction, Emotion Code, and a few other programs there, as well as I have a YouTube channel with a variety of different playlists on there. So as I said, I've got my 52-week tips for my Law of Attraction Gratitude Journal, which you can buy on Amazon.ca or .com, since we have some viewers from around the world. And we'll just say goodbye to a few people here. So Sylvia, thanks so much for watching. Lori, thanks for watching. Natasha, Karen, and all of you, we really, really appreciate it. And as I said, one of our vibrational business plan goals is to get more viewers, and also for us to get more clients so we can help more people in the world. So that's it for today. So Happy New Year. Join us, share, like, whatever you need to do, and enjoy your day. Bye for now.